Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at 1301 Sunset Drive here in Newburgh. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the house. We are just out in front of the concrete patio here and slightly off to the right of the front doorway. Got a 3-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. There's your front door. In fact, cleanout's easy to find. It sits right next to it. Looks like the water shut off. And we're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is a-running. We're going to zero out here at the base of the cleanout. And off we go. Very, very clean sewer line to start here. Absolutely spotless. And that is exactly how you want your line to look right there. That is the hallmark of a house that is doing a great job of not putting cooking oil and grease down the pipe. Transitioning here to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. After doing almost 25, actually I think I've surpassed it now, about 25,000 sewer scopes. I've done a lot of drain cleaning. Grease buildup is a very common contributing factor to blockages occurring in otherwise perfectly good sewer lines. Turns your line into a sticky mess. Causes debris to stop up where it otherwise wouldn't. And or most lines, when you flush debris down the toilet, rarely does it actually get from A to B in one flush. It's very common that solids will stop up part way, and then sink, showers, everything else draining helps to convey stuff along. So you don't want it. You don't want your any solids, paper products, things like that stopping up in grease. It just sticks to it, and starts building up. It's especially helpful when you have a household full of kids who like to ball up toilet paper. It makes your line a lot more forgiving in those more abusive scenarios. So it's thus far immaculate looking sewer line. We're gonna drain the line off here. We're gonna go locate really quick, see where the line terminates, then we'll pull back in here in just a moment. Alright, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on Sunset Drive. You know, where I picked that locate up out in the road, turn around and look back at the house, I'm staring up the driveway. I'll do one more locate here in just a moment as we get closer in. But it looks like the line jaunts under the driveway and runs up about, 3 feet or so in from the right side edge of the driveway, in case you're curious where the line's at. Anyways, you can tell I'm a big stickler on grease buildup. I like to point it out when households are doing things right. This is a spectacular example of that. It's very rare to see a line this clean, even households that are trying to keep grease and cooking oil out of the line. But as kind of just a general rule of thumb to help mitigate most of it, if you've got enough grease or oil on your pans, this is when the pans are hot anyway, hot or warm. If you turn that pan sideways, there's enough on there, like you're going to go dumping stuff off of it. If there's enough on the pan that it runs off the pan in beads or worse, it's at that point you want to do something about it. Either pour it into a jar, glass jar or metal can, or let it cool down and either wipe it out with a paper towel or scrape it off into a garbage can after it's cooled. Thin little coating of PAM spray, no big deal. Hot water and soap does the job there. It's when you're putting real quantity down the line is where that stuff gets you. I'm not kidding you when I say this is cleaner than half the brand new, never lived in construction homes I look at. This thing is immaculate. And that right there, that tie-in, I get asked about these a lot. Is it a party line? No, it's called a Test T or Test Y diagnostic pipe. It's very similar to a clean out. That's what they put a test bladder in when the line's first installed so they can pass it off and certify it. Make sure it's pressure tested. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try and flip around here. Everything from the clean out access to the main lateral connection is in great shape, spotless clean. I mean, this is about as close to a perfect sewer line as you can get right here. I hate to use that word perfect. I don't get to use it very often. This right here is about as good as a sewer scope can possibly go. And at this rate, we've already passed through the foundation wall. Everything past this point is all exposed piping. That's stuff the home inspector looks at. You can see it with your eyeballs down there in the crawl space. That right there is a sewer line to be proud of. Structurally, zero things I can nitpick, and it's spotless clean to boot. You rarely get all those things in one sewer line. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time. And you know what? I forgot to do my second locate. I'm going to push back out here right after the line turns just so I can verify where the line's going. Just so you kind of know the general route it takes. Yep, about 3 feet in from the right side edge there. This is where it turns and just shoots straight up the driveway out to the street.